Boys and girls, girls and boys, good afternoon. It is I, the Mandalorian, and today we are going to be talking about something that is just keeps bringing itself up in media, and it's especially wild right now in the NFL. And it's the clip yesterday that Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman had, where they were arguing the point that the only reason Tim Tebow is getting a second chance at the NFL is because of white supremacy. That's it. And because of that, Colin Kapernick, who sucks, is not getting another chance at the NFL because of white supremacy. So we're going to break down the clip. Don't worry. I'm going to show you everything. And we're going to listen to what Stephen A. says, what his argument is for that, and see if it holds any weight. Because I would say after watching this, and hopefully you will agree, that his argument makes no sense for having anything to do with white supremacy. He's going to give you every other reason in the book that makes sense and that's factual, but he'll give you no examples of white supremacy leading to anything with Tim Tebow making a comeback, and Colin Kaepernick cannot. So without further ado,
choose Peter.
And you just said that on camera. This going viral.
we are on our way to 30 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. It means a lot to me. So this clip is from yesterday's edition of ESPN First Take with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and I believe a guest appearance from Wonder Woman.
And he is an enormous celebrity in the media. And everyone always said, well, he's a great athlete. He could be a good football player, just not quarterback. Okay, so they're giving him a shot at another position. By the way, he still has to make the team.
Okay, so let's hold up right there. Max makes some very valid points. He's a celebrity in Jacksonville. He's from Jacksonville. The people there love him. He won 2 national championships with Florida. Max also mentions the fact that he's not coming back as a quarterback because he was never good at as a quarterback. He is coming back as a tight end. And he also mentions the fact that he hasn't even made the team yet. They've only signed him to the contract. He hasn't actually made the 53-man roster as of yet. So far, so good. Max Kellerman is sticking to the script, and he is stating the facts.
I will say this, however, Stephen A. A lot of people have used Tebow's situation to discuss Colin Kaepernick, to link the two somehow. I don't think they're linked.
Now, this is the point where Max decides to jump out of an airplane without a parachute, or according to the screen, take a nap, and tells us that a lot of people are linking Tim Tebow to Colin Kaepernick, their situations. Really? Like this guy? Oh, you don't know who he is? Neither do I. What people? Who are they? Who are these people? Because I'd like to know. Because I haven't heard anyone link them besides you two dummies.
But I will say this. I think it's good to do that. I think it is good to use anyone who gets an opportunity, especially if you feel like they don't deserve it, or they haven't earned it, or others are more worthy, to use that as a chance to bring up the fact that Kaepernick hasn't even been given a tryout. No one has even looked at him. And I would say, Stephen A., that it would be nice for Tim Tebow, who has been given this opportunity, you don't have to apologize for it, but it would be nice for him to mention Kaepernick's name, to say, hey, I've been given this opportunity. A lot of people are upset about it. I'm very grateful for it. You know, Colin Kaepernick should also get a look.
Okay, no, and no, he shouldn't. Colin Kaepernick has had plenty of chances to come back to the NFL. He's had tryouts. He's dragged around media teams saying I'm going to be here, and then 5 minutes later saying I'm going to be there. He opted out of his contract. He's had plenty of chances. The man doesn't want to play football. He wants to be a social justice warrior, not a gridiron warrior. Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick shouldn't be even in the same breath. They are on 2 completely opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm going to be blunt with y'all. Tim Tebow kneels for God. Colin Kaepernick kneels for himself. Tebow is trying to jumpstart his own career. Why would he be worried about what Colin Kaepernick is doing? If Colin Kaepernick wants to try out for Jacksonville, lace him up and put some shoulder pads on. Maybe he can even beat out Trevor Lawrence in camp. The only thing keeping Colin Kaepernick off of an NFL roster is either he doesn't want to be there, or number 2, like the rest of us, they think he sucks.
I know the two aren't linked, but I like linking them, and I think Tebow should too.
So, Max Kellerman started that off. He made some good points in the beginning, and then he just completely took a nosedive right off the path he was going down. I don't know where he was going with that. Trying to link the two is just, there is no linkage between them. Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick are two wildly different people, wildly different players. Tim Tebow is like the rah-rah team spirit guy times 10. It's widely regarded he's like one of the best guys in the locker room since his college days. He's a champion. He's a proven winner. Kaepernick's done nothing. His last season, he got 2 wins. So why we are trying to link these two is blowing my mind. But just hold on, because we haven't even got to Stephen A. Smith yet. He's coming up right now. And this is what really got me fired up. I am sick and tired of hearing about how the NFL is just rigged and white supremacy is taking down the black man in the NFL when the league is 90% black. Every year, the draft, the first, 30 out of 32 picks are black gentlemen, black players. So let's roll the rest of the clip and see what Stephen has to say about this, and then we'll break it down.
I have a problem with it. And in the interest of full disclosure, I texted Tim Tebow a couple of weeks ago, and I told him that if anybody deserves, something along this line, it's him, just from a human perspective. I think that he's one of the great, great people that I've had the pleasure of meeting in this business. He's a really, really good dude. His heart's in the right place. He's very charitable and philanthropic with his intentions and his actions. He's a pillar of that community, especially. Was a star at Florida State, et cetera, et cetera.
Just so we know we're talking about the same guy, this is Tim Tebow from Florida, not Florida State.
So I'm happy for him, meaning Tim Tebow specifically.
So the question has to be raised after you just heard what he said. What are we talking about here?
But when you look at, just the totality of the situation, once again, if I'm going to bring up white privilege when I brought up Steve Nash getting the job in Brooklyn, is this not an example of white privilege? What brother is getting this opportunity?
Shall I go on? Because I can do this all day.
Now, that makes people uncomfortable because we're talking about race. When I say something like that, let me be the first to say, I don't give a damn how you feel. I mean what I say.
Where have I heard that before recently?
I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it.
It is white privilege because that's not something that's happening for any brothers out there. You've never played the position. You've been retired from the game for years. When you did play, you were a quarterback on the NFL level, which you were not that good at. You had an opportunity when you were an active participant as an NFL player to participate and play tight end, play special teams and stuff like that, but you wanted to be a quarterback. And now here you are in this position. Why do I bring that up?
That is a great fucking question. Why do you bring that up? Could it be because 95% of the population will probably agree with what you just said? And everything you just said is based on facts.
That's not to point the finger at Tim Tebow. It's to remind everybody is that this opportunity doesn't happen if Urban Meyer is not the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars were 1-15 last year. They absolutely stunk. As far as I'm concerned, you could have got an equipment manager to play for that squad as bad as they looked, okay?
All right, so this is where I have to jump in and sound off. Think about what he just said. This wouldn't be happening if Urban Meyer wasn't the head coach. Exactly, Stephen. Of course it wouldn't. Nobody else is calling up Tim Tebow to have him come play tight end for their team. Only Urban Meyer. He is the one person that would make sense. Why are we bringing anything to do with whiteness into this conversation? It has nothing to do with that. The only reason, the one and only reason, is because Urban Meyer is the head coach of Jacksonville, and he used to be Tim Tebow's head coach when they won back-to-back national championships at Florida. Cut and dry.
They didn't think about calling Tim Tebow then. They didn't think about calling Tim Tebow the year before that when they were having their problems. But all of a sudden, Urban Meyer comes there. And as a result, Tim Tebow gets an opportunity, rather, to get a job with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Again, Stephen A. comes back. He doubles down on the fact that Urban Meyer is the head coach. That's why he got a phone call. If Urban Meyer wasn't there, he wouldn't have gotten a second call. Of course not. He wouldn't even be getting a look probably right now. But there it is. That's the hypocrisy of it, of ESPN and the garbage from Disney, the woke social justice culture. It's just nonsense.
He got that job because of the relationships. And as I've stated on many, many occasions on this show, when George Floyd ultimately was murdered by Derek Chauvin, the cop, and you saw people rioting and protesting in the streets, it wasn't just about him. It was about the symbolism of what transpired, because black people have repeatedly felt like we have the proverbial knee on our neck. We constantly have to scratch and claw our way. And when we see someone of a different ilk, of a different ethnicity, getting opportunities we know we would never get, that's where the words white privilege come from. And you yourself, Max, have been on the record. And I saw you saying this to somebody a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't on the show. You were talking about how white privilege needs to be addressed, but you're about lifting everybody up. You're not about giving up your white privilege, et cetera, et cetera. And my response to that months ago,
When I had that conversation with you, is that if you have a 50-yard head start.
Now, I can only speak for myself here, but I've had that conversation, honestly. And people are waking up to the nonsense. They really are, thankfully. So, I just want to say thank you for stopping by to my channel. Thanks for clicking on my video. I want everyone to stay safe. Have a good holiday weekend. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out. Guys, if you enjoyed the content today, please do me a favor. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And as always, before I let you go, here's a little taste of what I call diversity. Spread love, people. It's the Boston way. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.